Hey everybody, happy Thursday to you. Thank you for joining us for this terrific Thursday, or if you prefer to call it Leopard Print Thursday. It is a cool trend. We have trending topics, things of interest, food, community events, and so much more. That's what you're going to find here on the area's only live local talk and entertainment show. We like to call it Virginia This Morning. I'm Amy Lacey here with Andrea Swipe. Myrna, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, happy LPT, as we like to say. And now is the time to get ready. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this hour of programming. It's always great to see what's on the show each day. And the fun part is, no 2 days are the same.
So, of course, everybody talking about some rain outside today, a little bit. But, you know, it's all good. It's the calm before the storm.
Yeah,
today.
It's actually been nice and cool. I know we'll talk with Mike about this, but it's been nice and cool, and it's kind of given us a little bit of a reprieve from the heat.
The oppressive heat that we've had some days this summer.
Well, it is LPT. It's either LPT or Little Friday, whatever you want to call it. We're in the downward turn to the week, or maybe the upward turn to the weekend. Yeah. There you go.
I like to call it Friday Eve a lot of times because you know you can get those vibes started on a Thursday, so it's always good, and it's good to do it with leopard print here because you know it's a state of mind.
Yeah. A little spicy on a Thursday.
Well, we do have a quick look at a few highlights that you can get on this Leopard Print Thursday. We want you to be everywhere you are, and we've created this segment so that we can enjoy your fun and special moments that you've experienced with your friends and family. Take a look at this picture. We will share all of the details coming up. Look how beautiful that is. Where is that? We will check it out and we'll let you know where it is when we open up the inbox in less than 20 minutes.
That's right. Well, we're halfway through the year and we wanted to find out about the state of the job market. Whether you're looking for one or looking to change careers, this is always an interesting topic. A great friend of the show, Jillian Tyree from Robert Half, will share some results from a recent survey taken by more than 2,500 hiring managers. She'll fill us in coming up in our second half hour.
And we've all heard the term walking a mile in someone else's shoes, but would you try that? Do you live like that? August is recognized as National Civility Month, and it's the perfect time to talk about empathy, to try and understand people a little bit better. Our favorite teen international best-selling author Tanvi Arikapudi will share her insights in less than 10 minutes. But first we say hello to you.
Hi, Tanvi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. This is always such an important topic, and I know over the last couple years we've seen a renewed commitment to civility, and it's extremely important that we keep reminding people of that in this day and age.
Definitely, yes, I agree with that, and really excited to share about empathy and how we should rethink walking in someone else's shoes. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you.
And well, we have a quick giveaway too.
The popular American country music band Alabama is coming to Virginia, and we have the hookup to share some tickets to tomorrow night's concert in Doswell at the Atlantic Union Bank after hours at Serve Pro Pavilion. That's still to come, and who knows, today just might be your lucky day.
Now let's send it over to CBS 6 meteorologist Mike Stone, who's in for Tom Patton this morning. Hey, Mike, gee, what are we going to talk about?
A little person named Debbie who's going to be wreaking havoc with the weather. Hey, you were talking about Alabama tomorrow evening. This is what's going on up in Doswell right now with rain covering the lens. Things will improve a lot by tomorrow evening, but it is going to be a soggy day today, especially if you're watching us from west of I-95. There's actually a tornado watch. This got issued before 4 a.m. this morning. That goes until 1 o'clock. It's for far southern and southeastern parts of our state. It goes from Gloucester, Williams County, or in Matthews County, back through Williamsburg and through Surrey, Sussex, down through Greensville and in Brunswick County as well. That's until 1 o'clock, and this watch will likely get expanded farther west as the day goes on. It's humid outside. We have temperatures right now in the low and mid 70s, and Debbie made a second landfall. That came in South Carolina at 2 a.m. this morning. It's sending this big swath of rain up through the Carolinas, and a lot of this really heavy rain is going to stay just west of I-95, but most of the viewing area will see at least some periods of moderate to heavy rain today. And right now we have a little bit of a gap from parts of the metro down through the Tri-Cities into southeastern Virginia, but we have one wave of rain here in the northern neck stretching back up towards about the Fredericksburg area. A little bit heavier here between Ashland, Doswell, and Bowling Green and Spotsylvania. That's tracking to the north. A little bit of a lull in Richmond. Then we have more rain here off towards the south and west. Amelia, Nottoway County down through Brunswick County. We see these yellows and oranges. That's where the rain's a little bit heavier, and more is coming up from North Carolina. Some of these storms are in North Carolina over the past 30 minutes are producing some rotation. We had some tornado warnings there, so that's the reason why we're concerned. We get these little spin-ups with some of these rain areas and storms that come up from the south. So we're going to keep an eye on that today. But again, periods of rain off and on. Better chances of the heavier rain the farther west and southwest you are of Richmond today. But even across parts of the metro, we'll have some batches of heavy rain our own selves. The least amount of rain will fall right up against the coast today, and we'll see these periods of rain continue tonight. And through at least about the first half of the day tomorrow, we'll have some showers and storms around Friday morning through midday. And then once we get past noon tomorrow, we'll have just some leftover showers east of I-95. But the severe weather threat will be mostly in the morning through about midday. Now, for the next 36 hours or so, we have this flood watch, which remains in effect. Does not include the northern neck, middle peninsula, but roughly the I-64 corridor and points south and westward. There could be some sections within this flood watch that get multiple inches of rain, and this is just a risk outlook of chance of really heavy rain, excessive rainfall, and some flooding. Look at this kind of pinkish shading out here towards the west, pink magenta there, fuchsia, if you will. That's where the heaviest rain in the state's going to fall over the next 24 hours. You notice a lesser impact the farther east you go, and then tomorrow we have a lesser impact, but we'll still have some pretty decent rainfall the first part of the day tomorrow, and we run that risk of isolated tornadoes today. This has been updated since we spoke during the morning show. This includes more of the CBS 6 viewing area now, and that's for the isolated tornadoes today into tonight, and that risk will shift eastward into the northern neck and middle peninsula as we go throughout our day on Friday. High temperatures today area-wide will range from the upper 70s to the mid-80s. The winds will pick up a bit more tomorrow with some gusts possibly over 30 miles an hour in central Virginia. And then look at that. We drought just in time for the weekend. Pretty warm on Saturday, close to 90 degrees, but you'll notice it turned less humid Sunday into Monday and Tuesday, so pretty comfortable weather comes back for the first half of next week. We'll have another weather update for you coming up in just a little while, but Virginia This Morning begins in just 60 seconds.
Happy Leopard Print Thursday to you on this August 8th. And according to the clock, it's after 9 a.m. and that means Virginia This Morning is in full swing. I'm Andrea Swipe-Murdaugh, and I'm happy to be here with the other half of the A-Team, Amy Lacey.
Hi, Andrea. So
Good
great to
morning.
be a part of the A-Team with you here on this Thursday. Of course, I'm also happy to be here to spend some time with you, all of our viewers out there. We have a great show lined up for you to enjoy, so let's jump right in. Here's a quick overview of some of what's coming up.
We always look forward to opening up our inbox to showcase some fun submissions. That'll be part of our Everywhere You Are segment.
And Jillian Tyree from Robert Half is going to talk about the state of hiring and what you should know if you are looking for a job or looking to switch careers. Our conversation is coming up a little later this morning.
And we have much more too, so stay tuned.
And here's an interesting statistic. A recent study found the average American today has less empathy than 75% of Americans were 30 years ago. That's astounding.
Wow. Our first guest is an international best-selling author and a 15-year-old high school student who stays plugged in to what's trending in the teen world. She joins us this morning to talk about how walking a mile in someone else's shoes isn't easy. We welcome Tanvi Arakapudi back to Virginia This Morning. Good morning.
Hi, thank you so much for having me here. Really happy to be here again.
It's wonderful to talk with you about this because those numbers really astounding to me, and but also, you know, so many studies have been done, especially during the pandemic, that a lot of shifts happen during that time.
Definitely. So, of course, you already said the alarming rates that 75% less people are showing empathy since the last 30 years. But the additional with COVID is 14% more or less people showing empathy. And it, of course, makes sense with social media and not much human interactions. But together, as we work together, and I'll share the 3 tips that you can use so we can reignite our empathy and continue for the statistics to go up as we continue to help each other and ourselves.
Another interesting statistic within is about millennials, that they were specifically hit hard, about 20% of them experiencing a decline in empathy. Now, why do you think that is the case?
Yeah, I feel like that's really the case, especially like as they are coming back. And after COVID and since those ages as well, it's been so hard to have the empathy and the human connection of being able to talk to people and just understanding how others react and feel. There's been so many things happening in the world, and it's hard for us to take care of ourselves, which we didn't prioritize in a long time. And so now, as we have to like continue to help each other, we're having struggles. And so especially that's with the millennials as well, and all the upcoming generations as well. So hopefully with these tips and just talking about it more, we can try to help each other with empathy and really make sure that we help ourselves and help others, so empathy can be something that is normalized.
For some people, empathy really is innate, but for others, it is something that needs to be practiced. What are some of those best practices that can be integrated into life that everyone can just up that, I guess, that sensitivity meter a little bit?
Yeah, so for the most important thing you can do to have a conversation about empathy is to acknowledge and validate their feelings rather than comparing it. And that's like, of course, empathy and the idea of rethink walking in someone else's shoes is so important. Rather than trying to like say there's person A and person B, and I'm person A going through challenges, there's person B. It's not like they need to take their shoes off and come into my shoes and then have the experience or actions that I felt, and then kind of help me through that. Because any action or experience we feel, each person is so unique that we react to in different ways with our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings towards, and our perspective. So the best thing we can do is, rather than being in someone else's shoes and helping them, we can be in our own shoes, in our own size shoes, and be the best us that we can be. And that can start with acknowledging whatever emotion they're going through, rather than comparing it, because that can minimize their feelings and make them feel very much more vulnerable in that situation. So just accept their emotions and say, let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm. And as Amy mentioned, you know, you have to teach empathy. Mm-hmm. And so this is starting in some elementary schools, and I think some of those lessons are simplistic enough that they become great reminders also for adults who need a little boost in their empathy.
Yes, definitely, and that's super important as well. Like you were touching on the point about empathy in elementary schools and how they introduce it to us as they kind of put the song on, and it says like kind of walk in someone else's shoes and feel what they're feeling. The idea behind that and the whole walking in someone else's shoes, it's really just about like feel not the same action or emotion, but try to feel something. Think about an event that happened to you in the same magnitude level, and then how you would like support in that situation, and then treat someone else like that. But the hardest part of the whole idea is that we can never understand what someone else wants by thinking about what we want. So let's say I'm going through challenges and I would need someone to talk to me a lot. But then my sister, for example, she would need some quiet time. And so it's really understanding that person rather than your own, what you would need, because each person is unique, and being for them and saying, hey, what can I do for you? How can I help? As a person, as a friend, as a peer, as a family member, that's the best thing that you can do.
So for our viewers who aren't as familiar with your story, you're a member of many, many different student advisory councils, many other programs, because you want this to be a movement across our country and across our world. Tell our viewers about really who you are and why you got involved on this path.
Definitely, yeah. So I'm really passionate about sharing strategies like these about empathy, and just the kind of message you're not alone to my peers and all the people out there, because when I was going through challenges moving from Ireland to the US at 9 years old, I didn't have any support, and even especially from someone my age, every time I seeked support, it was a dead end. And so then I realized I need to build my own support systems. So I started to find strategies, make my own strategies, breathing techniques, circulation techniques, until I had a kit that really helped me. Anytime I could pull it out and feel in control of my mental health. Not perfect, but like I could handle a situation better. And then COVID hit, and all of us went through so many emotions, but I feel like those strategies helped me calm myself down in situations. And so I wanted to share with my peers. So in 6th grade, during online learning, I started a club, and then from then seeing how sharing these strategies and sharing the message you're not alone can help my peers, I decided to write a book at 12 and published at 13, and then my emotion cards deck, and then the advocacy journey really started, where I could really have the opportunities to share, and I'm so grateful to be here as well to continue sharing.
Absolutely. You are just incredible and light years ahead of many adults, as we've mentioned from the statistics, and how you think about empathy, but also share it with others. And you're a living example of what we should all be doing. Thank you so much for not only sharing your story, but sharing your story through your books.
Thank you so much for having me. It was lovely talking to both of you.
Have a great day.
For more information on this topic, empathy and civility, just visit our show website at virginiathismorning.com. Now, let's send it over to CBS 6 meteorologist Mike Stone. Once again, hi, Mike. You're keeping us informed.
Hey, well, we're going to be very busy about the next 36 hours, and we're going to see the rain increase across the region the rest of the day today. And if you're watching us, especially southwest of Richmond, west of I-95, even west of I-85, you're going to be seeing the heaviest rain today. Across Richmond right now, we're in a little bit of a lull. At the airport right now, it's 76 degrees. Winds are at the east at 13. Whenever the dew point's above 70, it feels really muggy outside. It's going to stay with that muggy feeling today, tonight, and tomorrow, but it's actually going to turn a lot less humid for this upcoming weekend. We have a tornado watch in effect until 1 o'clock. That includes far southern and southeastern Virginia. That is Brunswick, Greensville counties, Surrey, Sussex counties, over towards about Gloucester and Matthews County. That goes until 1 o'clock, and we'll likely see additional tornado watches added or kind of expanded westward as the day progresses. Right now, pretty uniform. A lot of spots between about 73 and 76 degrees. And Debbie is now moving into northern South Carolina. Look at all the moisture it's pulling in from the Atlantic with that big batch of heavy rain here across central and northern North Carolina, and that is moving into southwestern Virginia. We're kind of just on the northeastern edge of this, and you can see we have more gaps the farther south and east you are, more heavy rain the farther south and west you are. And within our viewing area right now, a little bit of a lull, as I mentioned in Richmond. We have some moderate rain here in the northern neck down towards about Jamaica, stretching back to near about I-95. Then we have some pockets of some heavy rain between Doswell, Woodford, and Spotsylvania. This is tracking to the north and northwest. There's that lull here in Richmond, the Tri-Cities, just a few sprinkles in a few areas, but then more rain picks up from Amelia back towards central Cumberland County and down to the state line with some pockets of some heavy rain near Chase City and throughout Mecklenburg County. Look in northern North Carolina, though, some pockets of some heavy rain, and you see this magenta box there. That's actually a tornado warning near Rocky Mount for a bit of rotation in that storm that's right there, and we may see more of those occur as this entire piece of energy moves up into the Commonwealth the rest of the day today. So farther east you are, we'll see the least amount of rain today. Still some light to moderate rain at times, but the metro and points westward, that's where we'll see some steady to heavy rain. The heaviest rain again occurring west of I-95. This rain continues for the rest of the day into this evening. We'll have a couple lulls here every now and then. We'll have more showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, especially about the first half of the day. Then once we get past midday, there will still be some showers east of I-95, but we'll start to see those kind of winding on down across the region. And I mentioned this a little while ago, the slight risk for severe weather today has expanded to most of the CBS 6 viewing area. This is in the form of an isolated tornado risk, and that will shift a little bit eastward tomorrow. We also have the flood watch that's in effect for a good portion of the area. We're talking about the potential for over 4 inches of rain well southwest of Richmond. Upper 70s to mid 80s today. The rain continues tomorrow, and then we'll see things dry out just in time for the weekend. We'll have another weather update for you coming up in just a little while, but we'll have more Virginia this morning after this break.
This segment is sponsored by Virginia Museum of History and Culture.
You can enjoy the exhibit Julia Child, A Recipe for Life now through September 2nd at the Virginia Museum of History and Culture. Today, Paige Newman, curator at the Virginia Museum of History and Culture, and Barry Hannenberg, founder and distiller at Virago Spirits, joins us this morning to share more about an upcoming event. It's great to see you both.
Thank you.
This is exciting because I have been hearing about this Julia Child exhibit that folks are flocking to the museum to be able to see it, and you've experienced the same.
Yes, definitely. It's been great. We've had a lot of visitation. It's just a great exhibit.
Now, we were talking a little bit before we got started about the exhibit itself. It is popular because of what you call an immersive experience.
Yes, so there's interactive and immersive experiences. People can come and enjoy the first meal that Julia had that kind of ignited her spark for French cuisine. There's also the French chef TV set that you can pretend you're Julia and do that. We also have to add Virginia connections, and one of those connections is Chef Patrick O'Connell from the Inn at Little Washington, and we have his red wood-burning stove on display, and what he honed his craft on, and his James Beard Lifetime Achievement Award. And if you really want to come see it, please come see the 3 Michelin star plaque that was awarded to the inn in 2019.
So you have some show-stopping artifacts.
We do.
That people can come and see. So there's so much history, and you were mentioning you can almost feel her presence in the space.
Yes, you can. And it's kind of one of those, I mean, people are familiar with the Smithsonian Kitchen, Julia's Kitchen, but this exhibit is one where you can come in. It's a journey through a personal and professional journey. So it starts with Julia McWilliams being born, and it goes up to today even.
Wow.
So.
You have had so many opportunities within the museum for people to come and feel the presence of Julia Child through workshops, through different presentations. You've got a few coming up.
Yes.
But we shouldn't wait because they're selling out quickly.
Yes. So we have 2 coming up. August 15th, we have Julia's great nephew, Alex Bruholm. He is going to discuss his new book, Dinner with the President, and it is about food and politics, and it spans 26 presidents. And it was inspired because of Julia's multiple visits to the White House. And the next event is on August 22nd, and we're doing an event with Virago Spirits. Yeah, and it's going to be Julia Child, The Art of the Cocktail.
This is so exciting because I think food helps us to have this experience where we actually humanize people within history.
Yes.
And it sounds like that's part of this exhibit, is the opportunity to see her journey and to see the many people she got a chance to rub elbows with, because we all enjoy a culinary experience.
Yes, and I think it's a great way. It's a food analogy to digest history.
Yes.
It's a great way to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have been smelling wonderful scents ever since you stepped into the studio.
Thank you.
Barry, you've got some lemon with you, but you
I
were
got some lemon.
making a
Upside down martini.
and this is inspired by
It
Miss
is Julia
Childs.
Child's favorite cocktail. So first of all, I want to thank the museum, but one of the reasons we're partnering with the museum on the Julia Child's exhibit is Virago is all about people that don't let the world define who they are, but define themselves to the world. It's all about people that are unapologetically true to who they are. And there couldn't be a better exemplar than that, than Julia Child. So we're, first of all, so fortunate to be able to participate with the museum on this, and we're looking forward to it, especially because there's drinks involved.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of drinks involved, we love that mission, and we want to see how you do this incredible recipe.
It's super easy. It's an upside down martini. So what's going on here, most of us are going to be familiar with what a martini is, right? It's going to be mainly gin or vodka and a little bit of vermouth. But historically, they use a lot more vermouth than we use today. As Julie was cooking, she'd often have a drink, and sometimes she'd have martinis and realize halfway through cooking that she's had a little bit too much to drink. And so she kind of invented this upside down martini, which is going to be primarily vermouth with just a little bit of gin to give it some spice. And that way, it's a low alcoholic cocktail you can enjoy for a longer period of time without, feeling like you've had too much to drink.
Well, and as you get started, this is a trend in this day and age where people are very conscious about their consumption. And so you're saying we still have creative options.
Absolutely. One of the things you have to kind of look at when you look at vermouth is people oftentimes look at vermouth askance because they think it's bad, or they'll have a martini without it because they don't like it. But that's just because they've had vermouth that hasn't been treated properly. Vermouth is a wine-based product, so if you open it and leave it on the counter, it's going to go bad and turn sour. Just like mayonnaise. If you had mayonnaise and went over someone's house, they left the mayonnaise on the counter, and you tried it a month later, it'd be pretty bad. You don't want to have old mayonnaise. Well, you don't want to have old vermouth either. The key is to getting fresh vermouth. It's a fortified wine with some herbs in there. Some are drier, some are spicier, some are a little bit sweet. Find one that you like for yourself and make this cocktail. Super easy.
Beautiful. And you're using today.
This is Dolan Dry vermouth. Julia's favorite vermouth was a brand called Noli Prat Dry. The both of them are French vermouth. So Dolan is just a different style of French dry vermouth. So we're going to do 2 ounces of Dolan Dry. Excuse me. And do 1 ounce of Virago's Modern Gin in there. You can change these ratios as it to your taste. When Julia Childs made it, she did it 5 parts vermouth to 1 part gin.
Oh.
We're doing 2 to 1 because, you know, our gin's delicious. You got to have more gin in there.
Absolutely. And what a beautiful bottle. And I know you've been so intentional in even how your spirits present.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a lovely bottle that has a lovely liquor inside it as well.
Uh-huh.
So our gin has 11 botanicals in it, but the notable botanicals are Szechuan peppercorn, lemongrass, and oolong tea. So it's more of a subtle gin, doesn't have quite the pine tree note that the London Dry would have, but it's really complex and delicious. So we got in our mixing glass 2 ounces of vermouth, 1 ounce of gin. We're gonna add a little bit of ice to it, and we're gonna stir away to get it nice and cold. Oop, we have an escapee. I'll take care of those guys.
All right, so
Nothing
we're
more than
stirring in.
you stir it. There's about 15 twists. You don't have to go too long. The idea is to get it cold, but you don't necessarily want to over dilute it.
Okay.
Once you get it cold enough, you're gonna put one of these little strainers on it. Pour it into your very lovely glass, and give it a fancy garnish. Now, for this cocktail, you want to give it a lemon twist. If you're an olive lover and like olive juice, you can of course do a dirty martini version of this. Make it your own. But the key here is go vermouth forward, and you're just gonna put that lemon in there or
And a
put it on
beautiful
the side,
twist.
and you're gonna enjoy it.
And there you are.
Can I drink on there?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Thank you.
So tasty, and it smells absolutely wonderful. I cannot wait to come out and see this wonderful class. August 15th is the big day?
August
August
22nd.
22nd.
August
Yeah,
22nd. August 15th is
Alex Verdome. It's his book, Dinner with the
Absolutely.
President. Yeah.
So we got to make sure we get over to register right away for both the August 15th event, Dinner with
Yes.
the President, and August 22nd.
Yeah.
Cocktails with Julia.
There you
Yeah.
go. All right, tell us one more time how we can go ahead and register.
You can go to our website, virginiahistory.org/calendar, and you should be able to find tickets and information.
For that and many other things that the
things,
museum
yes,
has to offer. Well, thank you for being part of this, and thank you
Thank
for
you.
teaching us a little something this morning. We hope you all enjoyed taking part in this spirited collaboration, and we hope you'll take part in the spirited collaboration with the Virginia Museum of History and Culture and Virago Spirits. It's happening August 22nd from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Virginia Museum of History and Culture, located at 428 North Arthur Ashe Boulevard in Richmond. For ticket information and more, give them a call, 804-340-1800, or visit the website, virginiahistory.org. You can connect with them on social media too. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.
We are back now, and we love checking in with you everywhere you are. It's always great to see the fun and exciting things that you've been up to with your friends and your family, and I saw some leopard print in those photos.
Oh yes, well please continue to send them to us so we can share them here every morning.
Well, here we go. Friend of the show, Raymond Bessex, is always enjoying a great moment with her friends. They celebrated their July birthdays at the Kabuki Japanese Steakhouse in Chester. Whoa, I always love the flames. My goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday to Wanda Brown and Denise Green. I was a July birthday too. Next year, I want to be invited to that fun.
There you go. That is always such a great place to have a birthday too.
Always. I took my daughter there once for one of her birthdays. It was a blast.
Having hibachi is one of my favorite cuisines.
It's always fun. Very
So-
social too.
Oh yes. Well, another friend of the show, Shane Rogers, filled us in on her most recent trip. She visited Afton Mountain over the weekend and spent some time at the Dooley Summer Retirement Home. She loved the Tiffany glass window featuring Sally Dooley.
Very pretty. I love stained glass.
That's
and
gorgeous.
Teresa Rotzalk celebrated her 11th wedding anniversary with family and friends recently. The celebration ended with a beautiful sunset over Bugs Island Lake.
Ooh.
Look at
so
that.
peaceful. Nothing like a
Gorgeous.
summer sunset with love. Happy anniversary to you all.
Special time, and thank you for sharing it with us.
Yes.
Are you having fun with your family, friends, and pets? Any day of the week, we want to see it and we want to share it. We want to share in the adventure while staying connected to you.
That's right. Please send us a video, picture, or comment to Virginia This Morning on Facebook or Instagram, or email us at virginiathismorning@wtvr.com. And now it's time to make you a winner. Caller 6 right now to 342-5745 wins 4 tickets to see the popular American country music band Alabama tomorrow night in Doswell at the Atlantic Union Bank after hours at Surf Pro Pavilion.
Again, that number is 342-5745. Good luck. Now let's send it over to CBS 6 meteorologist Mike Stone. Mike, a little bit of rain out there today.
Yeah, in fact, the later we go to the afternoon, especially west and southwest of Richmond, the rain is going to pick up quite a bit. Have a nice little lull here in Richmond currently, which I'll show you in just a second. Tornado watch continues until 1 o'clock for southern and southeastern Virginia. That's like Brunswick and Greensville County over to Surrey, Sussex, all the way up towards Gloucester and Matthews counties. That's until 1 o'clock. But this will likely either get expanded or there'll be additional tornado watches issued west of this. I think a good chunk of our viewing area may be in at least 1, if not 2 tornado watches by the time we get through the day today. Right now, temperature's pretty uniform, low and mid 70s. It's muggy outside. And here's Tropical Storm Debbie. It made landfall just east of Charleston around 2 a.m. this morning. It still has winds of 45 miles an hour. And look at all the moisture it's bringing in from the Atlantic and sending this up right through South and North Carolina. The rain is really heavy across North Carolina. And this is the rain that's moving up into our area. This is the top view approach. 45-mile-an-hour winds, and here's that swath of rain coming right off the Atlantic through North Carolina into southern and southwestern Virginia. That's the reason why the rain is going to be heavier the farther southwest you go, is because the trajectory of this rain is like this, from southeast to northwest. We'll still get some moderate to heavy rain in the metro area, but more the farther west and southwest you are. Right now, here's that nice lull here, Richmond down I-64 over towards the coast, but here's more rain coming up from the south. This cell that's right here near Rocky Mount, that had a tornado warning on it a little while ago. That has since ended, but that just gives you the idea of how these storms can spin up very quickly. So that's the reason why we're so concerned about tornadoes today. This is just moderate to locally heavy rainfall coming up from the south, extending through Lunenburg, Mecklenburg County, up through about Farmville and Cumberland County. There's that lull here in the metro. Then we have some heavier rain central and western Louisa County, Spotsylvania up towards Stafford and Fredericksburg, and then this rain extends over the northern neck. This is not too terribly heavy. The rain will pick up during the day today, though. So periods of rain, heavy at times, heavy rain the farther southwest you are of Richmond. We have that isolated tornado threat not only today, but tonight and the first half of the day tomorrow. Flood watch is in effect until this evening, and through this evening and into tomorrow evening, with rainfall totals lowest near the coast, maybe an inch, inch and a half, but southwestern Virginia has the potential for over 6 inches of rain. We'll get rid of the rain later tomorrow, and it's shaping up to be a pretty nice weekend. It'll actually turn a lot less humid by Sunday. I'll have more information for you over on wtvr.com, and we'll have a full update coming up for you on the CBS 6 News at noon. We'll be right back.
Thanks for joining us back from the break. Do you ever wonder about the current state of the United States job market?
Or if you are looking for a job or considering changing jobs, we have this segment and it may be in interest of you. Jillian Tyree from Robert Half is here with all of those details. Good morning, Jillian. Thank you for coming in today.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So what is the state of looking for a job in the job market right now?
Yeah, we did a survey, Robert Half did a survey in June of this year, and it was about 2,500 hiring managers. And what we found was that 52% of companies plan to add to staff in the second half of 2024, which is a little down from 57% at the beginning half of the year, but still 52% of companies are planning to add to staff, so that's a great sign. And 47% of those companies say that they're planning to fill vacated positions, so still looking to fill those positions that maybe have been open for a little bit longer.
Well, and that's great news because as we talked about a little bit before the break, there are some headlines that have been out recently that make you feel a little bit different. So this data is great news.
Yes, it is good news. Now, those headlines are out there, and hiring has slowed down. employers are hiring at a more conservative pace than they did the first half of the year, and we are starting to see that. What we're also seeing is the big stay. So a couple years ago, we were talking about the Great Resignation, and now we're in what we're calling the big stay. The big stay is actually a really positive effect that's happened to the job market. During the Great Resignation, people were looking to leave their jobs because they wanted more flexibility. They wanted a better culture and value that aligned with their personal values, and they found that in their new jobs, so they're staying. Can be a little frustrating for those looking to make hires or those looking to shift jobs, but the big stay is also affecting the conservative hiring approach that we're seeing out there.
Any advice that you have for people who are seeking a new job right now? How can they stand out among all of the applicants when you said that, you know, hiring managers are hiring a little more conservatively and they, you know, maybe there aren't quite as many options?
Yeah, that's a great question. LinkedIn is a fantastic source and something that we talk a lot about in our profession. Using LinkedIn, it's a professional social media site, and you can instantly make an impact to an employer who looks at your profile. And as an employer who's looking to hire, you can make an impact to talk about what your company is all about. I think if you're looking for a job right now and you're not working with a recruiter, you're doing it wrong, right? Trying to find a leopard without looking for the spots, if you will. You need to engage with a recruiting firm like Robert Half so you can see what other jobs are out there, you can get tweaks to your resume, and you can have someone advocating on your behalf to jobs they know you'd be a good fit for.
Absolutely, and your company has people who specialize in different industries.
That's right.
To assist very specifically in making sure that you're noticed.
Yeah, absolutely. So accounting and finance, technology, human resources, administrative, customer support, we run the whole gamut. And it's just a great resource to also talk to someone who's out there in the job market every day and can maybe give you a juxtaposition to what you're hearing in the headlines.
That would be so helpful too if you are considering changing careers completely. Having that resource, somebody to kind of go through the process with you side by side, I think would make it an easier transition.
Yeah, and it just gives you some peace of mind. I think from an employer perspective too, when you're out there and you're seeing hundreds of resumes and all of these applicants, it's really easy to sift through to find the top talent by partnering with a firm like Robert Half, so we can say, hey, we've already sifted through a lot of talent. Here's what's good based upon your culture, based upon the skill set you're looking for, based upon the specialized skills that you need. So partnering with a firm is key.
Well, and we talked a little bit about employers. What are some other mistakes that you're seeing employers making when it comes to finding that top talent, and what do you recommend?
I think that moving at a faster pace is a very good idea. I understand the conservative approach. When you see someone who gets you 75% of the way there, then think about how you can help coach them and rear them and train them to be 100% of what you want. You're not going to get 100% of what you want when you are interviewing someone. So thinking about the journey you're going to go on with this person and being more quick to say, yes, this is the person that we want. Also continuing to be flexible with that remote hybrid option, and then just thinking about your company's culture and values and being prepared to talk about them and showcase them to people that are interested in working for you.
Yeah. You talked a little bit about how important it is. The big stay is really a result of companies making some changes, some shifts around what the focus is, communicating, providing flexibility.
That's
and
right.
so continuing that in this next stage, in the second half of the year, is still just as important.
Yes, we've done it. You're there. You have people that are enjoying their jobs. They're enjoying the flexibility. They want to stay. But yes, you have to continue to maintain those promises and continue to talk about culture, talk about fit, talk about values. And we're seeing that happen, and it's actually a really positive impact that's happened in the job market.
It really is so important. That culture is what people maybe bought into in the first place, and then they want to see that maintained.
That's right, absolutely.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
You all
you.
always have so much wonderful data. The studies you do consistently are always so helpful for our viewers and for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For more information, you can visit our website, virginiathismorning.com.
And stay with us. We have more Virginia This Morning after the break. Welcome back, everybody. Remember, if you missed one of our live shows and you want to watch a particular segment, you can just by visiting our show website at virginiathismorning.com. If you have access to Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Android TV channels, you can also watch it there. If you need the app, just visit the App Store on your device and search WTVR Richmond. The best part is that it's absolutely free.
This segment is sponsored by Active Medicare Solutions.
There continue to be changes made to Medicare options, and navigating policy changes certainly can be troublesome without trusted resources. Craig Rasmussen, owner of Active Medicare Solutions, joins us ready to share more how the team can assist in navigating ongoing changes, choices, and all of it. It's great to see you.
So nice to see you, Jessica.
Craig, if somebody has not seen us on the show before talking about Active Medicare Solutions, can you paint the picture of what you guys are doing?
Absolutely, yeah. We are a local Medicare resource. So we have a Medicare health insurance agency on the corner of 3 Chop and Church, and we work with people that are getting ready to go on Medicare, people that are currently on Medicare. We help them identify what plan works best for them, analyze their options, enroll them, and then provide them service moving forward.
I think some friends might have just leaned in a little closer because they were hearing, wait, the team is here, they're local?
Yes, we know they get phone calls all day long, and the TV ads are crazy. There's no need to work with someone over the phone. There's plenty of people local, and we are local, and we have offices that you can actually walk into, sit down with us, and call us at any point.
You're working with customers who come in. Each case is unique. Each situation is unique. One thing that you're pretty sure of for next year are there are big changes coming, so it's important to be aware of that.
There are definitely big changes coming. The drug plans, the donut hole's going away. The Medicare reimbursement rate for Medicare Advantage plans is going to go down for the first time in many years. So no matter what program you have, there are going to be some probably negative effects.
There are many things on our calendar throughout the year that cause you to kind of sit up a little straighter and take notice. One of those pockets of time is open enrollment for a lot of people, right? You kind of freeze and you think, okay, I can do this. Open enrollment still a little ways away, but those changes, can folks make changes outside of that pocket of time?
Yes, there are many changes that people can make outside of that time. For instance, if you have Medicare and Medicaid, some of those plans have such rich benefits, food cards, dental, things like that. Those folks can make changes all year long. So it is better to do a review in the middle of the year versus when everybody else is doing it during open enrollment. People that have Medicare supplements like Plan Fs and Plan Gs, they don't want Advantage plans oftentimes. They can make changes all year. They can do a requote. And I find that most people that own Plan Fs and Plan Gs don't realize that they can fill out an application, get the exact same coverage, usually with a different carrier, for sometimes half the premium. I'm not even kidding. We've seen it reduced in half. Now, there are some underwriting questions, so if you have a chronic condition, it might be hard to do that. But yeah, if you have Medicaid or extra help, if you have a Plan F or a Plan G, those are 2 situations that you can do something outside of open enrollment.
So it pays to pick it up. Beep, boop, doo, doo. I'd like a mid-year review, and the team is local and works with you for free to do this.
Absolutely, and both of those scenarios can be done over the phone if you're comfortable, or you can come in and we can do it face-to-face.
Do folks take you up on mid-year reviews?
They do when we mention it. You know, we actually encourage our clients now to do mid-year reviews. Also to kind of get an idea of what they're looking for, what they see, because they know they're going to be bombarded with advertisements and things like that. So now's a good time to ask, what is the deal with, you hear about these food cards and flex cards, because they often, it's a bait and switch. They package it in a pretty bow, but it's not for everybody. So yes, I think if you have questions, you should be doing mid-year reviews with your agent.
And as with everything, if you wait until the last minute, you simply don't have the runway to absorb and understand everything, and you might make some costly mistakes. So it's a good idea to work with the team. Thanks for being back with us. I'm going to share some information so folks can get in touch. You can learn more about Active Medicare Solutions. The office is at 11057 3 Chop Road in Henrico. For all the information, call 804-874-6000. Visit the website, activemedicaresolutions.com, and connect on Facebook as well. Stay with us. Virginia This Morning is back right after this.
Welcome back, and thank you to all of our guests and to you for watching. It's our pleasure having you join us each weekday morning from 9 to 10 a.m.
It has been a great day. It's gone by in a flash, I feel like.
Oh,
And
yes.
we had such a variety of segments today, and I love the one that you did with our friends at the Virginia Museum of History and Culture, because it's just like such a great exhibit, and I think it's maybe going away in a few months.
I was going to say, we need to make sure we get over there.
Yes, we
We've
do.
heard so much about it. Even Mike Stone was telling us about the Julia Childs exhibit and the ways that you can just feel her presence in the museum.
Immersive experience, and he hinted at the smell of butter, which I'm
that's
buying into that.
That's the only smell I would expect in a Julia Childs kitchen.
Absolutely. And you would also expect some laughter and some friendliness and just, you know, a little bit of whimsy.
Well, they've got events August 15th and August 22nd. You can go to their website and learn more. And I think we might have to get down there to a cocktail class.
I think we're going to do it.
It's going to be a good time, among so many other things that are happening in the Virginia area and beyond.
A couple of things have been canceled. We had talked a little bit earlier in the week about the big racing day at Colonial Downs. That has been canceled as of right now. I believe it will be rescheduled, but we'll be bringing that information to you as soon as we know more about that as well.
Yeah.
But just keep an eye on the forecast to see what will be happening and when.
And we might not have Friday, but there's still opportunities over the weekend at Colonial Downs. Lots going on and even some performances. So, yeah.
The Watermelon Festival is coming up too on Sunday in Carytown, so that's always a fun time. We did a segment about that a little earlier in the week, and always just such a great time to go there. I think you and I talked about it too. All of the restaurants, and they do so many interesting cocktails and different foods that are based on watermelon, so you can really see how creative our food scene is here in Richmond.
And actually, just overnight, I was reading an article about all the benefits of watermelon and how it's tasty and it's hydrating, but it also gives your body some key nutrients. So I bought a little watermelon last night because I get overwhelmed with the big ones.
It's sometimes too much for just a few people to eat. That's more of a backyard barbecue kind of a fruit.
Okay, key question then, as we get ready to close out, have you ever had a yellow meat watermelon?
I have.
My dad actually, just last night, I don't know why watermelon is such a topic, I guess leading into the Watermelon Festival. We have had yellow meat watermelon. It's so sweet, so tasty. So maybe we'll have to, we were talking about juicing, maybe we'll have both in our juices this week.
Let's go for it. We can do something special with it.
Oh yes. Well, whatever you might be doing, getting ready for the weekend, tomorrow is Friday, and we have a great lineup for you to enjoy then too, including having a magician come on to do some card tricks.
Our Fun Friday show starts at 8:56 a.m. We want to have an invitation to you. Hope to see you then, and enjoy the rest of your Thursday.